So tired of missing literally every single shot on 2K. What game should I try? Oh, okay, yeah, Siege. No, I'm not fucking playing Siege. Hmm, it's been a minute since I've been on Fortnite. Let's try out Fortnite. Oh my god, what the fuck is all of this shit? Fucking SpongeBob? What the fuck is SpongeBob doing here? Now, in all seriousness, I just wanted to talk about how Fortnite has just become super unplayable. And with the recent uprise of Fortnite videos, I became inspired to play the game again because it had been so long since I had played it. And let's just say, as soon as I installed it and played it, I just became overwhelmed with the amount of, I guess, Robloxification of Fortnite. It's honestly astounding. But before we get started, make sure you like and subscribe. Every sub helps. And if you guys subscribe, I'll be able to feed my cat. So, make sure y'all subscribe. Not for me, but for my kitty. And let's not waste nobody's time. Let's get started with the video. Now, I'm sure Fortnite doesn't really need an introduction, but I guess we can have a brief recap of its history. It came out in 2017 after, I guess, 5 years of development for Save the World, basically going in and out of development. But they knew they had something special, so they kept it going. And they released Save the World in 2017. And in order to, I guess, promote Save the World, they made a Battle Royale um, aspect of the game a little later in about a couple of months. And that game mode just blew up. And, it is what it is today. Now, it's also well known that Fortnite was not original in the Battle Royale aspect, as they copied Player Unknown Battlegrounds, or I guess were inspired by them, and then coincided that with their unique building style, and were able to make a captivating Fortnite Battle Royale game mode that, caught everyone by storm. Now, of course, this was just to promote their Save the World, so it wasn't even supposed to be the main game mode, but, a lot more people enjoyed it. Not to mention, they made it free, so, you know, it wasn't really any incentive for them to be promoting that game mode as much as they did. But since it got them so much money from cosmetics and so on, and it got them so much recognition, it became slowly, the main's game mode of Fortnite. Now, Fortnite blew up so quickly that in only 2 weeks after its release, 10 million players were already playing the Battle Royale, which caused them to have to make a whole separate team to work on Battle Royale. But that's small compared to the numbers that they'll eventually achieve. But for the first 2 weeks, that's incredible. And there's not many games that have garnered the success that Fortnite has, especially for, a game mode that wasn't even supposed to be the main part of the game. But Fortnite just had something special about it, that I really want to get into because I feel like it's lost its special feeling of, I guess, playing the game. It's lost it, and it's become into like the corporate slop that a lot of things have become over the time of, I guess, um past post COVID. A lot of companies, a lot of video games, just things in general have become so boring and just so sloppy to the point where they're just releasing things for the money and not even releasing anything for enjoyment of, I guess, the consumer. Now, throughout this time, I guess early Fortnite Battle Royale, there were weekly updates, a lot of content, and it just kept the game super fresh. I know y'all remember the weekly game modes in Battle Royale. Like we had solid gold, we had only RPGs, we had only shotguns, and it would just come out with weekly game modes, and they would rotate them, so it wasn't that big of a hassle to be making game modes every week. But it kept the game fresh. Like I remember my friend texting me being like, "Oh, there's only shotguns this week, bro. We got to play." And it got us back on the game. And it just felt like every week having an update of, like, something being tweaked. Of course that can get annoying, but I feel like they just listened to the community, and every time we had an issue with something, it was immediately fixed. And it was something that people that weren't really used to, because the fact that a lot of people that went to Fortnite were from the 2K community, and as is myself. And 2K is just known for just being, I guess, doing everything that the community doesn't want them to do. Now, I don't want to go on a tangent of 2K, but I guess I want to compare them to, especially during this time. 2K was on the decline. They had just released the worst game in the series, 2K18, that has gotten so much hate. Of course, every 2K gets hate, but at the end of the day, there's a lot to enjoy about these games, but 2K18 was just kind of like the breaking point of the fans. And then that's when Fortnite releases season 3, and it's just incredible. It's beautiful, it listens to the players. Um the dev team were very, very involved. It's just something that you don't really experience like as a consumer, especially nowadays, like just having someone in the dev team be able to like come out and ask people what they want, and then them actually giving it to you, and it being more of like the consumer you know based tweaks. It was really incredible because it's just something that a lot of people are not used to. Now, before I go in circles, let's move on. But I feel like the reason why this was so successful is because, of course, Fortnite, they're a company, they're a business, and I have no issue with businesses looking out, doing things for monetary reasons, because that's the point of the business. It's the point of everything, to make money. And I feel like the reason why it was so successful is because when you listen to the consumer, they will buy things for your product, and that's very, very told in Fortnite. Of course, there were a bunch of little kids that would just ask their mom for cosmetics, but at the same time, a lot of people would buy skins just knowing that they could trust Fortnite to buy them skins, even though they were pointless cosmetic items in a video game. It was still fun to buy it, and people wanted to support the game because why wouldn't they? Fortnite or Epic Games would listen to them. They would make the game that they wanted, and we could enjoy it from the masses. So why wouldn't we want to support this game that is bringing us enjoyment, and also not being like how scummy a lot of devs and a lot of other gaming companies were being. Now, this is not to say that season or chapter 1 was perfect, because around season 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, post that, it was kind of getting really stale, as we had been on the same map for so long. Not only that, but I mean, there's so much you can do with like one map, and there's so many tweaks you can do before the game just becomes boring, because I mean, after years of playing that, what more can you do? So Fortnite decided that the best course of action was to actually um, freeze the game for about 3 days and come out with chapter 2. And it's mixed receptions about chapter 2, because it wasn't the OG Fortnite that we had, and a lot of people were looking for that OG Fortnite even back then. They wanted that season 1, they wanted that season 2. But of course, season or chapter 2 was very, very successful, as everybody was indoors. I mean, it was around the COVID time, so a lot of people just had no basically nothing to do, and they just played Fortnite all day. And personally, I enjoyed that season. It had its flaws. The tweaks of mantling and all that was debatable, and swimming and stuff. But at the end of the day, the changes were, I guess, for the better. But it kind of started like a steep incline in the game, as where it just went lower and lower and lower. Now, I'd say that creative was at first not the worst idea. I mean, it was basically a better version of Playgrounds, and playing with your friends and nobody else, that's fun. 1v1s are very fun. They started, I guess, new metas as everyone was able to practice Fortnite and they become better, but I feel like that's a different issue that we're not really going to discuss here, because as over time, obviously people are going to get better at the game, and to each their own. I feel like it's not that big of a deal if you're not good at the game. um, I've never been that good at Fortnite, and I still have had fun. Back then, like, I had damn near a full year where I couldn't even get a win, and I would still tune in and play Fortnite, which says enough. Before y'all call me trash, that shit was a joke. I did not go a full year without a Fortnite win, bro. Anyway, creative came out, and at first it wasn't the worst idea, but of course, Epic Games couldn't leave that game mode alone, because they saw gold in it. And as we fast forward post 2023, around March, they released that Unreal editor for Fortnite, which is basically an editor in order to make games on Fortnite creative mode. And of course, a lot of people used it, and people were able to make their own games, and it just became, I guess, Roblox. Like, I don't want to be that guy to where Roblox, I guess, owns that idea, which they don't. But, Fortnite wasn't supposed to be that type of game, like a game engine for, multiple games. It was its own standalone game. And the reason why that Roblox model is so successful is because, Roblox can basically just stand back. They update the game when they have to, major game breaking bug. But at the end of the day, the people that are working, the people that are, putting effort, time, sweat into these games are, the consumer. So basically, they can sit still, or, let's put it in perspective of Fortnite or Epic Games. They can just sit there, wait till there's something that they need to tweak that's, very game breaking that, if they don't fix, people will leave, and just sit there and wait for, I guess, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 year olds to make games for them. And when I come through with this opinion, I have two big issues with this. Number one is the fact that it honestly just screams lazy to me. Like, I know that there is game modes that were made by the devs, but it is honestly just lazy to me. Like, I understand that you can never please anyone, but the lack of content that Epic Games has released over the years, especially after, Mustard leaving, it has been honestly astounding because, it doesn't even feel like the same. Obviously, it's not the same developers as back then, but it doesn't even feel like the same company anymore. It feels like Fortnite was bought out by Microsoft or something. And I honestly am disappointed with the fact that, a lot of games nowadays just do the same exact thing. We can look at Fortnite, or not Fortnite, we can look at Minecraft and its Microsoft store or whatever that they got going on, their Minecraft store. And I look at that and I'm just like disappointed because it's just everything is just about money. And like I said earlier, I have no issue with companies, doing things for monetary reasons, but at the same time, we can't just forget about the consumer. You know, the whole point of a transaction is for each party to get, an equal fair amount. And nobody has a problem with paying, nobody has a problem with spending money on Fortnite. Of course, that's only if Fortnite cares about us and wants to release an actual good product. But another issue, or I guess prevalent issue that I have with modern day Fortnite is the fact that it's very easy to tell that Fortnite devs have become very lazy. With that being said, it's very, very hard for me to understand the fact that Fortnite has probably infinitely more money than they did have, throughout the first few seasons. And that's not to say that they weren't making money, but I mean, compare their pockets now to then. It doesn't make sense to me why Fortnite has regressed in this aspect. You'd think Epic Games would treat Fortnite with love and respect because, I mean, it'll be regarded as one of the biggest games that has ever, been released. But I mean, just the lack of content, the fact that they're relying on children to make their games for them, and the content that they do bring out. Um, and I guess we can touch on that subject for a little bit. Fortnite has added three new game modes, and I kind of just want to recap a little bit of them, and I guess my issues on the new game modes. We can have short recaps here because there's not much to them. We got Lego Fortnite, the survival sandbox games, where you play Lego, basically Lego Minecraft, and the game at first obviously saw millions and millions of players at launch. And personally, I never ever played it. I've actually never tuned into Lego Fortnite. Yeah, I haven't played Fortnite in that long. But you know, what I've been told is I didn't miss much because it's a gem at first. You play the game, it's very addicting, but then you realize that this game was probably made in the span of a couple of months. There had issues whether people couldn't build as much as they wanted to, and just overall the lack of content because obviously games going to get stale after a couple of months when you literally do not update it. This isn't really one of the three game modes, but I thought I should add about a little bit about Save the World. And don't even get me started on Save the World because that's where I started playing. I actually played Save the World before Battle Royale, and I had been addicted because it's a very interesting game mode. And I love those types of games, and the zombie aspect, just the overall leveling up aspect was really addicting. But then what happens after you pass the highest level, like the power level, is it really didn't make sense because there was just
an end point at the game and where they just stopped updating, and obviously I understand that battle royale, kind of took over as the main game mode, but you shouldn't just forget about the game mode as a whole, and especially with the fact that Save the World was supposed to become free, but to me the reason why it didn't was probably because if it was free, more people would play it and then they're forced to update it. And I don't know. I just feel like they made much more money, or enough money to be able to update that game and keep that part of the community, which is probably some of the OG Fortnite players. The more OG, people that supported you. I feel like if they were able to spend so much on battle royale, then they definitely had enough money to update that game. I'm gonna keep it short and brief on the second two. We got Fortnite Festival, which is just like the rock star, or I guess, what is it called? The guitar hero of Fortnite. And long story short, there isn't many songs, and it gets stale after a bit. It was fun at first, but when you realize there's literally barely any songs to play, and you could be done with all the songs in like a day or two. What more is there to do with this game mode? Like it's not much. Like I'd rather play a 9-year-old's fucking parkour on Fortnite than play the goddamn Guitar Hero for more than like a couple of minutes. And then we got Rocket Racing, which is just a rocket racing game. It's a car racing game. Not much to it. The gameplay is fine, but who the hell came to Fortnite to play fucking racing games? Apologize for my language. But my final thoughts on Fortnite, modern day Fortnite, or what Fortnite has become. Basically, I don't want to jump on a train here. These are my personal thoughts and opinions. Fortnite has just become a second Roblox. There is a lack of creativity at the workplace, so I guess they decided that their best course of action would be, let's have 10 to 16, 17, 18 year olds make the game for us, which to me it screams the fact that there's just no one there that genuinely knows what the community wants. And you know of course, OG, if it stayed OG for the rest of its time, it probably wouldn't have been as good of a game as it is. And that's not what I'm saying. Like, I'm not one of those people that just wished Fortnite stayed the same, because I know for a fact that if Fortnite stayed the same, people would complain. People are going to complain anyways. But I also believe that the fact that, they're so um, uncreative to the point where they need little kids to make games for them, it's honestly astounding. Yeah, and that's it, guys. I hope y'all like this kind of content. I really enjoy making videos about things I'm interested in, so I hope y'all like it too. Make sure y'all like and sub, and glockosama loves you.